The Veyra Cycle. Chapter 7. Anomaly. Aeron struggled to sleep that night. Rest came in fits, drifting in and out of reach until the familiar world faded away into something calmer, something separated from waking life. He found himself standing alone. There was no ground beneath his feet, and no sky above him. Only a vast, dim expanse that stretched endlessly in every direction. It was neither empty nor full. It simply existed, surrounding him without shape or boundary. Aeron turned slowly, his small hands tightening at his sides as uncertainty crept in.
Mom?
He called out, but his voice didn't echo back. For a moment, there was no response. Then, a voice finally spoke.
Aeron, can you hear me?
The voice wasn't coming from any particular direction. It had just been there all along. Aeron's breath caught in his throat.
Who said that?
I'm here. Aeron. Follow my voice.
Aeron heard only a distant voice, too faint to understand. He turned toward the sound, searching for whoever had spoken, but there was nothing around him. Only an endless void. A frown crossed his face. Though he couldn't make out the words, something compelled him to listen. Slowly, almost without thinking, he raised his hands before him. A wisp of darkness gathered between his palms. Not light, not flame. A thin veil of black mist drifted into existence, twisting silently as though struggling to hold its shape. More strands emerged from the emptiness, folding into one another until the darkness grew denser. For a brief moment, it remained perfectly still. Then it moved. The mist coiled around his fingers. Aeron recoiled, trying to pull away, but the darkness clung to his skin like living smoke. It crept across his hands, climbed his wrists, and wrapped around his forearms.
What's going on?
He clawed at it, but his fingers passed straight through the black haze. It continued upward. His heartbeat quickened.
No! Stop!
The darkness reached his shoulders before surging across his chest in a single violent rush. Cold spread through every part of him as the mist crawled toward his neck. He tried to scream, but Aeron couldn't say anything. The void itself seemed to darken, swallowing what little remained of the endless emptiness around him. Then the voice returned.
Aeron, wake up!
The mist shot toward his face. Aeron bolted upright, gasping for air as sweat soaked his clothes.
Mom!
Aeron's eyes snapped open as he took a quick, uneven breath, feeling the air rushing in. The lingering echo of the voice from his dream stayed with him, like it was clinging on, refusing to fade away even as he woke up. His heart raced, and before he could think clearly, panic took over, pushing him out of bed and across the floor, his bare feet hitting the wood as he hurried to the door.
Dad?
Darren turned at once, but Samira was already moving, reaching Aeron first as she dropped to one knee and placed her hands gently on his shoulders, grounding him even as she felt the heat of his skin and the tremor running through him.
Hey, what's wrong?
Samira asked, her voice calm but tinged with urgency, while Aeron hesitated, his breath catching as the words he wanted to say failed to form.
I heard something.
Aeron tried to speak, but the thought slipped from him before it could take shape, leaving only the fear behind. Darren shortened the gap with 2 quick steps, his stance steady yet tense, as his gaze swept over his son, noting every detail instantly.
He's sweating.
Samira said as she glanced up at Darren.
Could you bring some towels?
I'll be right back.
Darren replied, already turning toward the next room without hesitation. As he stepped back, the room's attention subtly changed, not with noise or movement, but through the calm focus of the man seated at the table. William watched. He had seen fear before, such as children waking from prolonged dreams, but this was different because the fear wasn't just in the boy. It was also reflected in Darren's reaction, where his restraint appeared too sudden, almost as if something more beneath the surface had been waiting to emerge. Without drawing attention, William tilted his wrist, allowing the Arcane Band to awaken silently beneath his sleeve. Its presence marked only by a faint pulse that did not carry beyond his skin.
Read.
William whispered. His gaze settled on Aeron as the reading began, and when it came through, it did so almost instantly, drawing William's attention not once but twice, as though his mind required confirmation of what his eyes had already seen. The flow was wrong. Mana did not behave this way, not in any human body he had ever studied or fought beside, because it was meant to move outward, expanding from its origin like breath released into open air, and yet here it turned inward, folding back into itself as though something within the boy refused to let it escape. William stayed perfectly still, his attention fixed on the gem on his band, which briefly deepened to red, enough to signal what the numbers had already started to show. The count kept increasing, going well beyond expected levels, surpassing even his own without any sign of slowing down. For a moment, he silently acknowledged this fact, contemplating it in the context of everything he knew. Aeron should have manifested something rare, something unmistakable, something that would have left no room for doubt. And yet, there was no Veyra present. The pattern shifted again. Inside the gem, the light fractured and bent, scattering into prismatic strands that refused to settle into any clear pattern, as if the band itself was struggling to interpret what it was being made to read. William exhaled slowly, his breath soft enough to go unnoticed by the others.
This doesn't make sense.
William murmured under his breath, though even as the words left him, he understood that what he had seen was not a mistake. Darren came back shortly after, holding a towel that emitted a faint warmth as he carefully set it over Aaron's head. William's wrist moved slightly, with the arcane band slipping under his sleeve as his hand remained at his side. His posture stayed unchanged, appearing normal to any onlookers. Darren glanced at William.
Please forgive him. He just had a nightmare.
There's nothing to forgive. If anything, I should be the one apologizing.
He slowly got up from his seat, purposefully reaching for his helmet, holding it briefly, before heading toward the door.
I won't intrude any longer, but I'll come back in the morning to meet your son properly. And to give him his birthday present.
Samira offered a smile.
Thank you for coming.
William inclined his head in acknowledgement, then turned and stepped through the doorway, letting the door close behind him without a sound. For a moment, he did not move. The silence outside felt different, quieter, but not empty. His gaze lowered slightly, not to the path ahead, but to the faint memory of light that still lingered in his mind, the fractured pattern, the color that refused to settle, the reading that should not have existed. His hand tightened once at his side. Then, without another word, William stepped forward and disappeared into the dark. Next, on the Veyra Cycle, William comes back the next morning with a gift for Aeron. Darren suspects William already understood the secret behind Aeron's manifestation and why they kept it from him. Chapter 8, Birthday Present.